Hey guys, we're going to have a conversation with people today talking about prayer and what it means to them.
We were actually discussing this last night.
I don't think prayer is necessarily important. I think it's more how you interpret it.
For me, it's a waste of your time.
I think this is kind of like a Buddhist belief.
I think that goes against what the idea of like Jesus or God is about.
Do you believe there's a higher power?
We were actually discussing this last night. So she's Christian and I'm Hindu.
In essence, yes.
Something like energy or something like this, but that I don't know exactly what it is.
Why would you think there is?
Because otherwise, the alternatives are just very, very sad, I think.
Yeah, I do.
And I don't think that each person needs to follow just one creation or one religion.
I feel like you're always called to something, and I think every person's got a purpose.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I believe. Like you're your own higher self kind of thing.
Do you think your consciousness is like connected to a higher power?
I think this is kind of like a Buddhist belief.
I don't think so.
I kind of believe like we're all the same person, just reborn into like different lives.
There is something, but I'm not connected with that.
But I don't know if it's like connected to like a God necessarily, just like connected all together, and then like God is like, I don't know, like part of that.
Your higher consciousness is the one that like tells you what to do kind of thing and drives you in life.
Yeah, I think it's connected.
I don't know exactly what, so I don't really want to know it. I'm just live my life without thinking all the time if something is there and I connected with that.
I'm not too sure. Like I'm very much just learning about it and trying to figure it out myself.
Do you think prayer is important?
I don't think prayer is necessarily important. I think it's more how you interpret it.
I think it's a way for someone to be able to put hopes or the opposite of that outside themselves. So it's just like, it's not inside them all. It's just another vessel to give themselves some sort of, insight.
So if you want to pray and that's what benefits you, then fair enough. But if your prayer is something more silent and inner, then I think that's basically the same.
Do you think that Jesus speaks to people who don't follow him?
No, I don't.
Potentially, if they choose to listen.
And why do you think that?
Because the idea of a higher power for me isn't meaning God or Jesus in that sense.
I don't know, but maybe it's something that happened because if you don't trust him, why he's going to speak with you if he really exists?
I personally don't believe in Jesus and religion. I think because it's yourself, but I think everybody's got like their own inner guidance system kind of thing, and if they want to call that Jesus, they want to call it their consciousness, their higher self. I think whatever you think is what speaks to you.
Have you ever prayed before?
No, I haven't.
I've prayed, I've done the Hindu prayers and stuff.
Well, I don't know, not in the traditional sense. I've sitting down, hands clasped and eyes closed to anyone in particular, but more it's like a thinking or sending energy to a higher power, whatever that may be.
For me, it's a waste of your time, yeah.
I have prayed, I think, quite a bit before, just because I was more religious and more Christian stuff.
I used to do it because my grandmother lived in God, my family also, so I have to do it while I was chill. But when I grew up and everything, I decide myself and I decided don't follow that because I don't really believe in that things.
And we believe in the other gods as well from other religions and the unity of it all.
Yes, I did it before, but I don't do it anymore because doesn't makes me feel like anything.
Often you're praying for just being a good person yourself as well.
And what does that look like? I'm just curious myself.
These days I mostly just pray in my head. But when I was younger, I'd pray with my mom and family out loud, on the way to school even and stuff.
Would Jesus listen to a Christian more than they would to someone that doesn't believe in it, or even yourself?
I would hope not.
Yeah, I think everyone has a chance at speaking and being in touch with God, even though they don't necessarily believe themselves yet.
I think that goes against what the idea of Jesus or God is about. And if he's just going to not pick sides, but if he's going to listen to someone more than one other, purely because what they believe in, then it's a hard concept for me to grasp and hold on to.
Maybe equal?
I think he does. Even if you don't think of him as Jesus, maybe you call him another name or whatever.
Because what I know about religion is everyone is the same, or everyone, like all the humans are the same. So maybe he listened to all of us.
I think if it's about Jesus, then probably, but I don't believe in Jesus.
Whatever God there is, I think he would apply to every human being. Like, he's not going to just look after people who think they're Christian.
But maybe he pay more attention to the people that really follow him, because he is not going to waste his time in the people that don't trust him.
Obviously, if you're a good person and you follow things like 10 Commandments, he might listen to you more or something. But if other people think he's called Allah or whatever, like God, whoever God is or whatever God is still going to help everyone out.
Oh, okay. Grown up professional. Has a Christian then ever prayed for you before?
Yeah, my grandmother.
Yeah, I have been. It was actually for my mum and myself.
When something bad happened in my family, she used to pray a lot.
Because my mum got really ill during COVID. So a lot of people prayed for her kind of thing, and she actually surprisingly survived when she was a really slim chance of it.
It's something that I will never do for someone, because I don't really trust that, but I really, really appreciate this moment, because you are spending your time thinking in another person, praying for another person, and express your love for other person.
For me, it was more not that it was a Christian praying for me, but that somebody was willing and wanting to give their energy for me in that part of my life.
Not that I know of. Maybe not that I know of.
Can I ask you what you felt in the moment?
Gratitude to the person, and love, essentially, coming from them for that.
It was really weird actually, because I was like, it was a lot of people I didn't know, so it was. But I thought it was really kind, and I did really appreciate it. Obviously.
If a Christian asked to pray for you, would you accept it, or is rather not?
I think that I will say no.
Yeah, I'd probably accept it if it made them feel better, and probably appreciate it as well.
If someone that I don't really know who is this person wants to pray for me, I will say not.
I think I would accept it because it wouldn't hurt, and if they want to do it to make themselves maybe feel better or feel like they're doing good, then it's not going to harm. So yeah.
If it was just out of the blue for some reason, probably not.
If one friend of me, she or he want to pray for me, if they want, it's okay.
I think it would just depend entirely on the reason why. And so when it's happened before, it's because things were going on in life that I was like, yeah, at least that would that helps, you know?
I don't really want someone, as I said, expend their time praying for me when I don't really realize or believe in that. So I will say, okay, if you want to do it, but I don't think it's something that I really like or I really want or something like that.
Oh, this is a long question.
Hey guys, my name is Michaela and this is Matt.
Heyo.
We're out here asking people different opinions and perspectives about Christianity and faith and prayer. And we just had a round of talking to people. Matt, how did you go with yours?
We had a couple that she believed the same, that, that we all have this inner higher power in us, that, we're connected to something bigger than ourselves, which, for me, it clearly highlights, obviously, us being Christians and we have that understanding, but it always shows to me that, naturally as human beings, we're spiritual beings, that we're craving something outside of ourselves and something bigger than ourselves, which is I truly believe that's an innate, thing God has put in all of us to search for him. Now, we may find it in different places, but we know that the true finding is in Jesus. And so just interesting and refreshing to see and hear other people's perspectives on that. And I was saying, because sometimes I think, I've always had consciousness and higher power. I think crystals and these, those things, but to actually hear what people believe instead of just putting preconceived ideas onto them was also, for me, super refreshing to understand, oh, okay, that's what they believe. I still have my beliefs and I'm still firm on that. But it was interesting to see other people's perspective, where then another group of girls we spoke to, they were agnostic in what they believe, that they, they said, oh, there could be, there couldn't be, I don't know, I'm not really too sure for myself in it there. And still interesting to see that side of, that in that uncertainty, just being comfortable in that, I guess, just being, oh, well, you never know,
Right. So I had a Hindu guy and he said, yes, I think that Jesus definitely does speak to people. And the question was, do you reckon Jesus speaks to people that doesn't follow him? And he said, well, yes, I think he does. And then he goes on to answer with, well, I think he speaks to us in different ways than other people. But it was cool to see that even though he didn't believe in Jesus himself, that he definitely sees that he could speak through us in a different way. So that was definitely a cool.
Yeah, cool moment on there.
Definitely. We had a guy as well. We asked a question about prayer, and I asked him as well a following question of what did you feel in the moment? And he said, I actually felt grateful. And it was a moment in his life where he was going through something rough, and he's like, someone did pray for me that was believed in God and was a Christian and say they were a Christian, and the emotion was gratitude.
Yeah.
And I was like, see, that's awesome that again that people are still feeling the Holy Spirit and people praying for them in different ways, even if you're Christian or non-Christian, that's a response in that moment.
But I love it as well, like with those stories of people praying, like it's the faithfulness of those to hear the Holy Spirit and enact on those that the person may not then believe after you pray for them, but like just that sense of gratitude, you know, that's the Holy Spirit working through or healing that girl's mom, you know, like that's still God moving within that and doing those things. And like, shout out to them for being so faithful and, you know, to the Holy Spirit is prompting them, which is awesome to see those. It's planting all those little seeds along the journey, you know?
There was a guy that we filmed as well and had a conversation with, and he was similar of, I don't know whether there is or isn't, but then the question we asked at the end was about prayer. And I said, would you feel comfortable if a Christian came up to you and prayed for you? And he said, well, yes, depending what it is. And he said, I actually had someone pray for me that was a Christian. So even though he doesn't believe himself personally, but he's still open to have someone to pray for them, I think is cool. And I don't think we should shut that opportunity down and to say no for other people because you just never know.
No for them.
Right, but you just never know. And I think that was a great way to hear that from other people to be like, actually, yes, pray for me.
It's such good conversations that we had today. And I'm excited that we can continue to have them in the future, that, you know, these conversations from today that we had with people can spur other people on. And I think for those watching these videos as well, you know, to have these conversations as well, to, you know, start these dialogues and conversation, because we've seen that people are open to them. They, you know, they're not closed. Let's not say people's no for them, you know?
That's it. And being open to be able to have that too, and to see other people's point of view and to hear them. I think people want to just be heard, and the relationship with people can actually go so far without us knowing. So hands down, I'm excited to see more.
I know, even me.
Excited to hear more.
We're ready to get back on the streets and do more. so good. Perfect. Well, that's us. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
And viva Spain.
Viva Spain. So good.